Hey everybody, this is TotalGamerJunkie and I want to welcome you all back to my channel. So as you can see right now, this is not a clickbait video. It says it right there. You can check on Steam. I went to check PlayStation Network, nothing was up, so I went to check Steam. And as you can all see for yourself, this game is going to be R18. I believe it's the first Life is Strange game that's going to be R18, because I remember a while ago, the Life is Strange 2 was supposed to be R18, but then that got changed to MA15+. At least it was for me here in Australia. For other countries, it received mature 17+. Now, if I'm wrong, please let me know in the comments, but as far as I know, the second game was not R18. It was close, but no, it wasn't. Now, I do plan to talk about this again later in the video, but there is other information I want to go over with you and discuss it. And as always, make sure you leave a comment below, share your thoughts and theories, and if I like them, I'll make sure to mention you in my next video. Now on Steam, there are 6 new images which aren't in the YouTube trailers. Now there's 5, as one of the images we see in the trailer where Max raises her hand up. I believe that's when she discovers that she can go through alternate universes, so I'm leaving that one out. So for now it's just 5. So in the first one we see what looks like Max picking up a hockey stick, and she's defending that guy. He's security, I don't know his name. But anyways, it looks like something or someone is going to attack them. Or maybe there's someone or something's coming and they're like, okay, we gotta get ready. Or who knows, maybe it's this guy, Max, and Sophie are just throwing snowballs, and each one of them are taking a turn to hit the snowball with the hockey stick and seeing how far they can hit them. I don't know, but I doubt it's the last one. It's probably the former one, but we never know. Now this next screenshot is the most interesting to me, because out of all of them, we see one of the choices that the game will present us. Answer her questions or call her bluff. Now obviously, due to the tape recorder, it's clearly a reporter, and my guess is that this is going to take place shortly after Sophie's death. I mean Sophie, sorry. And it makes it even more interesting that the fact there isn't a, okay, I'll answer your questions, or I won't answer your questions. It's answer her questions or call her bluff. So what is it she's doing exactly? Now I don't believe the R18 rating has anything to do with this. As I mentioned earlier, the reason it's R18 is interactive drug use, so I don't think this reporter's going to be taking pictures of Max smoking a joint or whatever and then trying to blackmail her later on. No, that'd be just ridiculous. What I think is going to happen, now take this with a grain of salt, because we don't know what ending is canon. Maybe we get to choose if we sacrificed Arcadia Bay or sacrifice Chloe. But let's say you chose the ending sacrifice Arcadia Bay. Not many people, I mean the comics say that there were a lot more people who survived, but for the main game it was Victoria. Aside from Max and Chloe, we know who survived. It was Victoria, David, Jefferson, Officer Barry, and there was one more officer, I can't forget. There were 2 of them with David when he went to arrest Jefferson, who was using Victoria as his next subject. That's how she survived, because she was in the dark room when the storm happened. So I think the reporter might bring this up, saying, I know you were the survivor, you were one of the survivors of the storm in Arcadia Bay, and in this at this place where Max is, if word gets around, there'll be gossip, and obviously people want to ask questions. Maybe it will bring attention to Max she doesn't want, because Max is, it really depends how you play her, but she's not really a social person, like, until she gets her powers. And as this game has stated, she's not using her powers. She doesn't use her powers. If we check on Steam again, it mentions that to save her friend, Max tries to rewind time, a power she's not used in years. Instead, Max opens the way to a parallel timeline where Suffy is still alive and still in danger. So we know Max hasn't used her powers since the end of the game, regardless of whether it's the storm or after Chloe's funeral. No, she hasn't used them again. Or perhaps it could be the opposite. If Chloe dies instead, maybe she could say, like, I know you hid in the bathroom when that girl got shot and died, and I can let everyone here know what a coward you were. Granted, I don't know how she would know that. Even if it did come out in the news, I don't think she'd know that Max specifically was hiding in the bathroom when it happened. Because the second Nathan shoots Chloe, everyone would have heard the gunshot, and we see in one of the photos when the timeline's being reset in episode 5, I believe it is. Nathan gets arrested. But whatever it is, I'm going to be on my guard around this woman, and I'm going to be very cautious. Next we see Max, who's, I don't know if she's crossed the do not cross police line or if she's behind it and she was going to cross, but it looks like she's being caught. I don't know what those yellow things are in the background, maybe some fireflies or something, I'm not too sure. But it looks like she's been caught by the detective. I don't know his name, but we go through Steam. It says a relentless detective has Max in his sight, and Safi's killer grows closer with every clue uncovered. Can Max survive long enough to do the impossible? So it's either the detective or the killer, and I don't think, because as this says, the police do not cross, the police line do not cross, it's clear that this is just happened. Safi has just died, Max is going to go to get evidence, and that detective, he may think that Max has something to do with it. Because, Max is the first one there, she was with Safi. She wasn't with her when she died, but she was there just after she got shot. So I can understand why you would see Max as a suspect. She could have easily shot him, and with all the snow around, found a place to hide the gun, maybe under a rock, or like buried it in the snow and then put a rock over it, or threw it off a cliff. We don't know what the landscape is yet, so it sounds pretty silly, but it's like, as a detective, everyone's a suspect. Everyone has a motive. Well, people that don't have a motive cannot have an alibi, etc. Now, I don't really have much to say about this screenshot, but I thought I'd show it regardless. We see Max and Safi by a fireplace. Whether or not this is before her death or is in the alternate timeline, I'm not too sure. But the look on Max's face is someone's talking. I guess she kind of, like, to me it looks like she's like, wait, what are you saying? That kind of look. At least that's what it looks like to me, but I don't know, you let me know what you think. Now, I think a lot of you might find this screenshot more interesting than the second screenshot that I found interesting, but we can see here Max is using her powers. It's still intriguing, but I think the second screenshot's more intriguing. We see that Max is going to use her powers, and the silhouettes of multiple people come in. We see a guy right there by the bench. If you look where Max's hand is, there's two other silhouettes, and these appear to be the people in the alternate timeline. Now, after I made my previous video, I was quite interested in knowing what extent Max can use her powers, and thanks to Steam, I now know. Towards the very end of the description of the game, it says, explore 2 versions of a vivid winter campus, each packed with clues, secrets, and tough decisions. Now, originally, when Max travels back in time in the photograph, she only has the area with which the photo has been taken. So we see that in the first time she uses her photography power, I don't know, like window power, whatever you want to call it. She is in the living room with Chloe and William. Now she can't go outside, she can't go upstairs, she's confined to to the living room. Now, in the second time she does it, this is when, well, she does it a few other times as well, but we see that when she warns Chloe about Jefferson and explains how Nathan's dead and the dark room and all that, you can't go any more forward. You have to stop Chloe from entering the Vortex Club. You can't chase after her, you have to stop her in that moment. But with this, I think what's going to happen is we can switch back and forth freely, and we're not going to be restricted. Now, in Life is Strange, we know that there's only certain areas you can go to. So, let's say, for example, we take True Colors. When you're exploring outside, I think this game is going to be, like, have that open world, and you can switch freely between the two. But obviously you will have to go inside houses, so that will have to load. But I think it will keep the version of the world you're still in when you enter a house or a building. And if you switch in the building and you come out, the world's been switched back to what you did. So parallel world, original world, just whatever. Now I don't think, another thing is, will it be limited or will it be permanent? Can we permanently switch between them, or will we only have a time limit on what we can do? Because it's not clear to us what extent Max can use these powers. And I do plan to make another video about her powers, the possible limitations and consequences of them. But it's very interesting to think about nonetheless. Now let's talk about the release date and editions. For me, the release date is going to be October 30th, 2024, and there are 3 editions. We got the standard game, we got the deluxe edition, and the ultimate edition. Now I obviously plan to get the ultimate edition, because, you know, if it was any other Life is Strange game, I'd just bother getting the deluxe. But no, this is, I got the collectors for Before the Storms, but I didn't get it for Life is Strange 2 or True Colors. I just got the deluxe ones, not the best editions. But for this one, yes, I'm absolutely getting the best edition. And if we look down here, we can see what we get with the editions. Now we see here, with the standard edition, we just get the full game. With the deluxe edition, we get a spooky outfit pack and a decades outfit pack. And with the ultimate edition, we get, I'm not really interested in the Final Fantasy or Paw Prince outfit pack, but we get cat content. And for a second there, I was like, wait, we get to dress Max as a cat? What? But then I remembered, oh, there was that leak that mentioned that you would be able to get a cat. And like Max will be able to get a cat, find one, adopt it, turn Max into a creepy cat lady. Yeah, I do plan to get the ultimate edition, like regardless of the cat and whatnot. But I'm hoping for at least for these other outfits, a spooky outfit pack, decades outfit pack. I'd like this game to do what it did with Before the Storm when we were dressing Chloe. If you got the edition I did, you get to dress her how she originally looked, which is pretty cool. And I'm like, yeah, I definitely want this. And there's also something else you can get. For those who pre-order the Ultimate Edition, you get to play chapters 1 and 2 2 weeks early. Now this caught my eye. As you know, Life is Strange 1 and 2 was episodic. They released an episode every couple of months. It was sort of, if you're familiar with Telltale games, they did the same thing. But when True Colors came out, they released chapters in one go. So this has got me thinking, what if they're going back to that formula? What if we only get to play, if you pre-order, you get to play chapters 1 and 2 2 weeks early, as it says, but you don't get to play anymore. It's going to be episodic. We're going to have to wait a bit and just play the chapters as they release. And I think that would be a good idea. It would keep suspense, it would keep players guessing, keep them on their toes, and after each chapter we get new information, and we can make a bunch of theories and just have fun with it and see how much of it we get right and wrong. Because I think what would be good, because if I was in charge, I would have an episode, or chapter as they're called now, released every week like a TV show. So that way, okay, you've got to wait next week until the new episode comes out to figure out what happened. Because that way, instead of months, it'd be weekly, and it'd be not so long enough that people would get bored and their interest would slowly die down. Like, even though they're interested, they'd be like, yes, it's finally here, but it'd keep their interest like at peak to the point where it's like, oh yes, finally the weekend's here, it's been 7 days, I can finally play the next one. But then again, you know, I don't know who's in charge of this. Is it the developers or maybe the higher ups? Not too sure, but regardless, that's why I'm definitely pre-ordering the Ultimate Edition. Not really for the cat bonus, but it's an alright edition, plus for the outfits. But I want to play it 2 weeks early. I want to get my hands dirty with this game. I want to explore the whole town and see just what I can do. That's all I really wanted to talk about at the moment. Let me know in the comments what you think of this video. If you have any ideas or theories or anything you'd like me to discuss, let me know in the comments below, and I'll be sure to mention your comment. This is TotalGamerJunkie, signing off.